Let the comments go to our great digital producer, Johnny. So let me get you right over to the graphics here. It's just a technicality. The Storm Prediction Center decided to push this over. Hi, Andrea. You're welcome, my friend. Decided to issue this. So this means that severe storms are likely. Now, this risk in the yellow, which you can see does extend from West Palm up to about Daytona Beach, is for some large hail and damaging gusts. I really don't see a tornado risk tonight. Just because the atmosphere doesn't have enough shear. But there is so much instability that I do think we could have some hailstones up to golf ball size, which for Central Florida is pretty good. This is not the Midwest. Central Florida can get hail, but golf ball sized hail, it's pretty decent for around here. So areas included in the likely mode of, now not everybody in the yellow is going to see a severe storm. I want to shout that from the rooftops. So don't interpret this as, oh, I'm in the yellow, I'm going to see a severe storm. Not every single person will, but a lot of people will. In the slight risk, which is the likely mode from the SPC, is Brevard County, the Space Coast, up to Volusia County. Severe threat tapers off once you get north of about Flagler Beach. Areas like Daytona, Sanford, Lake Mary, Altamont, Orange County, Seminole County, the theme parks, Kissimmee, St. Cloud included in that likely mode of some severe storms for this evening. So let me take you right now with what's just going on outside. Hi, Bobby from Clearmont. What's going on, my friend? So let me just show you how hot it is out. I mean, because it's brutal. Like, wow. Here's the temperatures right now. It's 100 in Sanford. Wow. I don't have, just me here. I can't make a graphic on that at the second, but I actually think that's a new record. So we've got record heat right now. It's 100 degrees, the actual air temperature in Sanford, Florida. 99 in Buffalo, 97 in Orlando. You see the sea breeze coming in from the east, so it's plenty hot for storms. And in fact, the heat index is up there too. It feels like 108. Check this out. Let me take this full so you see it. It feels like 108 in Leesburg. Will it pass by Winter Haven? I'll show you that coming up in a few minutes. But I do think there'll be a lot of storms this evening, more than the typical for Central Florida. 106 Bethel, 106 Titusville, 106 Sanford. It is really, really hot, and it's actually quite humid. You see those dew points are close to 70, which is pretty humid for us this time of the year. Winds are from the east. You see the wind, actually the sea breeze, 23 miles an hour in New Smyrna, and right west of that gradient is where the storms are about to rapidly fire up. So let's get right over the radar because I've been talking a lot here. Let's get right over to the radar and we'll show you things right now. So we don't actually have a severe storm watch in effect now. Interestingly, I'm actually kind of surprised we don't. I would have thought we would have from the folks at the Weather Service, but that, not to distinguish the threat. There will be several severe storms this evening. So right now to our south, we do have a severe storm here that's coming into Polk County. That one's actually interestingly moving northward. Whoa, how did that happen? Let me change our line here. I'm not really sure how that happened. Let me make it black, the pen, and we'll change this to, that's 60. I don't know how that happened. And then 100. All right, here you go. So this storm here is moving this way. There you go. Now I can draw on it. So that storm's moving that way. We'll keep an eye on that one. But the big thing to watch through this evening, oh, we should have sound on Facebook. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Clearmont. Vangelis. We'll talk about Winter Haven in a second. Hi, Jeffrey. You're welcome, Andrea. No, Lou. How's everybody doing? All right, so it's just really hot out right now, and let me show you the sea breeze front right now. So you see this thin green line right here? Let me stop the radar so you can see it. You see this little green line right here? That's the sea breeze off the Atlantic, which it shows up on radar because it picks up dust. In fact, it's so dry out that, probably a lot of, dust and, pollen, bugs, and it gets seen by the radar as it gets pushed inland, and that denotes the wind coming in from the east like this off the Atlantic, and on the other side of that, the wind coming like this, which is from the southwest today. And right along that black line, which is the sea breeze front, as it pushes further inland, we will see storms that pop up rapidly in the next 1 to 2 hours. So here's the loop. You see that? Notice that green line? That's what I'm talking about. This is the sea breeze front, and as this continues to push west, any time now within the next hour, it should rapidly initiate thunderstorms. We do have a couple of storms starting to get going right over near Windermere. One here just to the east of the airport, or I guess the northeast. Not much around Seminole County right now. A little shower east of the sea breeze front near I-95. Some couple storms here near Ormond Beach. This has got a special weather statement on it now for Flagler County till 5. But let me show you the hour-by-hour maps, because I think that's going to give you a lot better view of how this is actually going to play out. By the way, do you like the heat? I don't know. It's kind of hot out. It's a little bit much even for me, and I love the heat. I actually had the windows down earlier. All right, so here we go. Here's the computer models. Here's the latest stuff. So I want you to notice so the way a computer model works is it takes the current radar, and sometimes initially it may not grasp how the radar is actually looking, because if you look at this here at 4, notice that there's storms out there that are not quite how the radar looks yet. Like for instance, the models think that there's more storms in here right now than there actually is. So take that with a grain of salt. But the point is, just watch how this evolves. Let me take this full so you see it. Notice here as we go 5. So really in the next hour, these storms are going to rapidly explode. We'll get a ton of storms here along I-4, a ton of storms here from Orange to Seminole, and these will be tremendous lightning producers, torrential downpours, more than the typical Florida summer stuff because it's so hot and it's so unstable. And then the storms will slowly propagate west-northwest and inland along that sea breeze. And I think the majority of the stuff is going to be kind of paralleling along and east of the I-4 corridor for this evening. So if you're west of this black line, Gainesville, Ocala, the Villages, most of these spots tonight probably stay dry. It's mainly, this black line and east where the storms will be tonight, but I'll let this play so you see. There's 5, here's 6, 7, and notice how the storms kind of jump. They reform closer to the I-4 corridor by 7:30 to 8, Daytona Beach, and then they fall apart by 9. And let me show you a different run of this computer model. Let me change this. Give me a second. Change this. So I'll show you a different run of the models. You notice here's 4. Let me zoom in and pick out your town where you live. There's 5, 6. Notice how they continue to blow up. 6:30, 7. We've got a ton of storms out there. Watching from Daytona, Abigail. Oh, welcome on your vacation. Yeah, those of you in Daytona area, I'll show you through the evening. Let me take in a little localized view here. So heads up if you got dinner plans or whatever around Daytona. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast through the evening at Daytona. Probably, I'd say, after about 6, 7, especially closer to 8, you'll probably have an all-out gully washer around Daytona. Even could be some severe action with large hail and damaging winds. That's 8 o'clock. So the idea is the next hour or so, to summarize this, in case you just joined, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. Put a like, a comment, a shout out. Michael, Palm Bay. Sure, I'll answer that for a second. Hi, Paula from Titusville. Andrew Mays from DeLand. What's up, brother? So Michael, Palm Bay. It actually looks like a lot of the storms may stay just to your west in Palm Bay. But I will show you this. Notice as we go through the evening, Palm Bay, you might get some rain later, but the worst of the storms actually probably stay to your west because the sea breeze is already west of you. Notice for perspective, here's 4, 5. By 6, there's a huge line of storms out over here and nothing around Palm Bay. So, Michael, Palm Bay, you might actually miss most of the action in the show for tonight. High temperatures so far today, as I showed you before, Sanford got officially to 100. Orlando got to 99. Leesburg and Daytona got to 98. Shout out our digital director, great digital director, Josh, for bringing that in front of me real quick. Let me show you real quick. I don't think our graphic will have updated this yet. No, it hasn't. This is a model, sorry. Let me show you the current temps, because wow, is it hot out. So here's the current readings right now, if you missed it earlier. It's currently 100 in Sanford, 99 in Claremont. These are the current readings. I mean, it is hot even for Florida standards. Really, really hot. The place to be is the beach. I mean, I tell you that. I mean, look at Daytona right now. A little bit of a sea breeze, not too bad. There'll be some storms there in a couple of hours. But here's the heat index, what it really feels like right now. 106 in Sanford, 107 in Leesburg, 107 in Claremont, 99 in Melbourne. This is just below heat index criteria for Central Florida. Different parts of the country have different criteria for there to be a heat index. So we're just below that. But the atmosphere today has a decent amount of cold air in it. Once we get to July and August, the freezing level and the cold air retreats so far north that it's hard for these storms to produce large hail. Generally, May, June, mid-April to mid-June is like the hail time for us in Central Florida, one of those times of the year. So I do think there could be some pretty good hail out there tonight. Hi from Ocala, 96. What's up, Mandy? Hi, Rolando. How you doing? What's up, Andrea Smiley? Watching from East Orlando. Hi, Shakol Dunn. How you doing? Cocoa Beach, Tim. What's on, my friend? So while I have all of y'all on here, I'll show you the updated 7-day forecast, and we'll go through this in more detail on Fox 35 tonight at 5, 6, 10, and 11. But let me take this full so you can see it. So in case you're trying to plan things out, this is, let me show you real quick. This is hot off the press, y'all. I made this with my bare hands before I came on. This is fresh made, handmade right out of the oven. This is no AI yet. There's no AI here. There's no computer modeling. This is a handmade 7-day. It's made with love. There you go. 96 tomorrow, 40% chance of thunder showers tomorrow. Today it's about 70, so a little bit less coverage tomorrow. It's just really, really hot for the weekend. I think upper 90s inland, kind of like today, lower 90s at the beaches. And then next week, after about Monday, it just gets really wet. This probably will be the official start of the wet season. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, there's going to be not a tropical system, so I want to quell and squash any rumors on social media, the internet, you may have heard. This is your home for hype-free weather here. We're just telling you how it is. There's not going to be a hurricane or a tropical storm next week. There's been a few models that have tried to do that. It's not going to happen. But we do have a big surge of tropical moisture in each day next week. There's going to be wave after wave after wave of rain and storms at any point of the day, not just heat of the day stuff. Some of our models try to spit out like 10 inches of rain just next week in Central Florida. That may be a little bit much, but all of the models have a lot of rain. So the temperatures are going to come way down. Those rain chances are going to go way up. And we'll talk about that much more for you on the news tonight at 5, 6, and 10 and 11. But here's the live radar right now. Notice we don't have much in the core of our area yet. I expect this area to rapidly fill in with storms in the next 2 hours, the area I've highlighted in black. The only actual warning right now is actually down here coming into Polk County, which will probably get a new warning here momentarily for this core right here. So there'll be a new warning that comes out, I would guess, that extends up like this shortly. But this warning is probably going to be allowed to expire here shortly for Manatee County, then Polk County and Hardy County. But this is a nasty storm here near Pembroke. Lots of lightning you see there. That's drifting northward. We don't have much yet in the core of our area other than this little guy. You're probably hearing the thunder around Ormond Beach. This is a special weather statement. Look at some of the wind here. Yeah, there's not much. But I just want to show you the rain rate of that storm down by down in Manatee County, because this is what's like coming for the rest of the evening for us, just to give you perspective. I mean, this is, as I would say in Kentucky, having lived in Western Kentucky for 6 years, this is a gully washer. I mean, this is an all-out deluge. Let me turn off the lightning, because sometimes, we get so many radar products that are flashing and whiz-banging by, and you can't see them on the radar. So let me just clean it up, turn off the lightning. Look at the rain rates in here. Now, this is a little bit contaminated because there's hail. Hail sometimes skews the rain rates a little higher. This is probably where there's no hail. 5 inches an hour, 6, 5, 2, you know, so 4 inches an hour, you're getting an inch of rain every 15 minutes. 5 inches an hour, you're getting an inch of rain in 12 minutes. You know, so it's gonna rain an inch of rain in some spots tonight. You'll get 2 inches of rain in 20 minutes, 15 minutes even. It was just tropical deluge because of how hot and humid it is, more than the usual Florida stuff. And you can see these showers starting to build here across central Florida. So it's coming up on 4:40. Let me give you a couple cameras quick, then I'm gonna let you go because I've got to get ready for the news at 5. Let me pull up a few views here for you. By the way, the good news is the tropics do remain quiet. Not expecting anything in the next week. Even though there's going to be a ton of rain next week, there is no development potential on the horizon, which is good news. Let me show you some of the cameras here because we've got a plethora of cameras. Here's the view from Seminole County. You see those cumulus starting to build. We call these a couple of things you can call them. You know, agitated cumulus, as the weather folk call them. I'll probably sign off here at about 4:45 because I've got to get ready for the news at 5. And I got to have something quick to eat because I know how this goes with severe weather. I won't eat now and then it'll be 10 o'clock later. I think it's going to be a busy evening. Here's the view from Daytona Beach. Let's see if I can get Orlando in here. Yeah, so you'll see these clouds really start to grow here vertically in the next little while. Not much in the core of our area yet. There's the view from downtown. Here's the view from Lake Mary. You can see the haze out there, and also there is some wildfire smoke. Brooks Garner was putting this out earlier. There is that wildfire burn in Osceola, I forget where it was, Orange County today. Here's the view from our radar tower, which you can see some of those clouds really starting to grow upwards at the current point in time. I tell you what the heck, let me get into some meteorology with you in the last 2 minutes here. Pull up something. Hope you had a great day so far. The good news is rain. Hi, Samantha. How are you? Hi, Rolando. Yeah, we are in a major drought for sure. Hi, Vanita. How you doing? What's up, Patricia? Let's see. Let me pull up some meteorology for you here. Dun, dun, dun. So why the storms today? Well, good question. Well, I'm trying to pull up something off camera. I'm about to pull it over. So here's the actual meteorology. Let me zoom this in for you here real quick. So this is what we call the wind shear. This is from the National Weather Service, by the way. So to get tornadoes, look, it's Florida. You could always get something rogue and crazy on the sea breeze, but today's not really a day for that. This is the low-level wind. So in English, the wind in the lowest 1 kilometer of the atmosphere. So from the ground up a couple thousand feet, you need that wind blowing at 20, 30 mile an hour in that layer. Notice over Florida right now, there's no, right at the ground there's a slight breeze, but as soon as you get off 100 feet above your head, the wind's not moving. There's no low-level wind. So that's why, in case you were wondering, tornadoes, no, not worried about that tonight. Now here's the energy. Let me zoom this in so you can see. Notice the values here over Central Florida. I know this is kind of an eyesore, but if you look here, there's 3,000 plus. This is called CAPE, so the energy. That's a lot. These storms are going to produce a ton of lightning and also some of that hail, potentially large hail, because of how unstable it is. Let me pull up some of the hail parameters here. Interestingly, that one's not reflective of... Not reflective of how I think this will play out. But in terms of wind, yeah, here's a good one. So anytime you've got this value over 1,000, damaging winds are pretty favorable, or in some downbursts that could produce pockets of 60 miles an hour wind. And you see that there's values of 1,200, 1,000 plus right over Central Florida. So that's pretty indicative of the environment we're in. So as these clouds continue to grow, they'll really tap into that atmosphere aloft. And by the way, it is Thursday. That means we get the new drought monitor, which you can see has expanded further up to Palm Coast. The areas in yellow, the first stages of drought. Now we've got moderate drought as of today up to Lake Mary. I'm sure you know this because your grass is burnt in a lot of these areas. But Orlando, Orange County's moderate drought. And look at the severe drought to our south. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. A lot of severe drought. Hi, Cindy. Thank you. Appreciate you watching. That's nice of you. We hope you watch us on Fox 35 through the evenings as well. I know you've got a lot of sources and apps and whatever for weather. Hope you watch us. Make it a habit on the night side. We hope you join us. And send in reports, any of you watching, if you get reports tonight. But before I show you the hour-by-hour forecast real quick, I just wanted to show you this. Because look at the drought. Let me go back to the camera. Look how large the severe drought is. This is not going to be national news headlines, but on a local level, this is a big deal. Especially when you consider the local. If this went on for a month, we would have a huge economic and there'd be a lot more severe impact of water shortages and wells drying up and yada yada yada. This is only going to last until next week, as there's going to be an epic rain pattern next week, so the drought will come to an end. But look at the severe drought. Fort Lauderdale, all that tan is severe drought, and the moderate drought comes into Orlando now. So we need rain. This is needed rain. Just don't want the severe weather. But if you missed it earlier, you just clicked on, here is the severe threat through this evening. This is from the folks at the Storm Prediction Center. So a level 2 risk in the yellow, that's the likely mode, and the level 1 possible in the green. So a little more than your typical quote-unquote run-of-the-mill Florida storms in the summertime. A little more than that. And you see a little camera there on the left, those clouds popping up too. Right now. So here's the maps through the rest of the evening. I clear off my telestrating from earlier. Should I get the latest model? Oh, there you go. Just updated. So take this with a grain of salt. Look, it's a computer model. It's not gospel. It's doing its best. Just focus on the overall evolution through the evening. Is that now through about 5:30, the storms continue to fire and then grow. By 5, 6. It's really 6 to 7, I think, will be the core of the storms. You see here, I'll stop. This is technically, we'll put it at 7. There you go. This is technically 7:05 is the specific time, even though our banner says 7. It updates every hour. So this is 7:05 p.m. tonight. Palm Coast, you see kind of a little line here. DeLand, Sanford, Lake Mary, Oviedo, then St. Cloud, maybe a nasty severe storm there. You see the black, Kissimmee. So evening dinner plans, going to the gym, grocery, leaving work, especially 6 to 8, I'd say, be the peak of the storms this evening. Take this full so you can see it. So there's 7:05, 7:30, there's 8. Then after about 8, they fall apart, and then by 9, 10, things are quiet. So as you notice, it's really, they'll start to really pop the next hour or two, and then between 6 and 9, got a lot of storms out there. I'll show you a different model. See how this one looks. Wait a second. Let me flip this over. Yeah, here's our Fox model. It's really aggressive with the storms through the evening. This may be a little bit much, but you notice it really fires off a lot of storms through this evening. So we'll see how this happens. But the idea is through the evening, a couple of severe storms will occur. Some much needed rain, but a ton of lightning too. So just heads up for that, and I'll be here watching this radar for you with updates through the evening on website, Fox Local. That's our app streaming, and we'll have coverage on TV as well. So thank you guys for watching. We are so dry in Melbourne, Terry. I hear you. Believe me, I hear you. But in a week and a half from now, we will be talking about who will stop the rain. And for right now, we are going to take a break, and Garrett Weimer, our digital anchor, is going to pick up some of this coverage. But for right now, I will sign off, and I will see you coming up on the News at 5.